Bend down for me. Allah, one day,
I'm Gilbert Olye, your guest, your host. With me today, I have Comrade Theophilus Ugu, the Secretary, PST Asaba Branch. You are welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Tobacco.
And another person again is Esther Edafinene, Head Officer in the South Local Government. You are welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, viewers.
Today we are still going to go on with the personal hygiene. We call this one part 2. Personal hygiene matters a lot because without personal hygiene you cannot remain healthy, and everybody wants to remain healthy in order to acclimatize to others. Today, my brother Theophilus, what do we really mean by personal hygiene? What do we really mean?
All right, thank you, Mr. Gilbert, for having me once again. Like we earlier said, to a layman's language, personal hygiene is how you take care of yourself, your body, your environment, both within and outside. So that is what it means to a layman's language.
Yeah. So looking at the personal hygiene, let's start from our homes. You know, when a child is born, the mother will carry the child, bathe the child, start breastfeeding, and others. That means you have started bringing up the child. And when you bring up a child, well, you know, you acclimatize with the environment and also do the necessary things that you taught the person to do. Madam, you are a woman, and how do you look at women feeding, breastfeeding their child, their children? How do you look at it? Because that thing, from the beginning, taking care of the child, breastfeeding and others, which a way is the best way to handle a child?
Okay. Children, they are very vulnerable.
Yes.
In the sense that their immune system is still developing.
Yes.
And as such, they are expected to be well protected since they are 100% dependent on the mother and their caregiver.
Yes.
And because of the fragility of their nation, it is expected that maximum hygiene is extended to them. Now that you have narrowed it to the issue of breastfeeding, I'd like to say that women, first and foremost, should take good care of their braziers, because this is what they used to hold the breast.
Yes.
They must take care of their braziers. You will not wear clothes outside and then you are using one brazier for 3, 4, 5 days.
Yes.
And when you sweat, everything is there. And as soon as you want to breastfeed your child, you just bring it out and give that child, knowing fully well that the child clicks his or her mouth on the nipple to be able to get the breast milk.
Yes.
So at that time, every get that your brazier have accumulated are settled on that breast. So you will be exposing your child to real problem. Presently, there is cholera outbreak in the air. You just see children stooling, vomiting. Most of this thing is associated with poor hygiene. Then secondly, even though you are wearing your brazier daily, neatly, clean ones, it is also expected that before you breastfeed your child, don't just be in an hurry. Make sure you wash the mouth of the breast. Have your bottled water aside. Since you can go and ease yourself, go there, ease yourself. And since you want to ease yourself, watch the mouth of your baby, of the nipple for your baby to suck healthily. And then there are some women, in the name of breastfeeding, they just open their breast on the public water. You should have a neat wrap, like ankle, neat one, that used to wrap the area that the breast is exposed and leaving the mouth of the baby. And always carry your breast from the public. It's not for, in the name of breastfeeding a child, you are not breastfeeding the whole community. So, it's private property. Keep it. Don't expose your child. Don't expose the breast. By so doing, the milk that the child is taking will be the strictly milk is taking. Will not be taking milk at the same time sucking breast alongside, which are not healthy for the child. Thank you.
Yes, so thank you so much. Theophilus, looking at it now, the child and the mother is inside the house. So the environment is supposed to have some kind of looks. You understand? Because if the environment is not well kept, I don't think even when the woman is even keeping meat and washing this and washing that, and the environment. I'm talking about inside the room now.
Yes.
You understand? How do you expect that inside that place should be?
Okay. To contribute to what you just asked me, like as I said earlier, that cleanliness is part of godliness. And if you are godly, you must be neat. Your environment should follow suit. Now, in a home where there is a woman and there is a child or children, that every home, if you don't get the house swept on daily basis or mopped at least twice in a week or 3, you will discover that dust settle in some corners of the house. This also has some effect on the breathing, the air that is being taken in by the people. So that also, sweeping the house is very important, and mopping the floor, very important. The next one is the cobwebs we see in homes. Most people don't bother when they see cobwebs in the ceiling, by the corner of their houses. They just look at it and remove their faces. Those things have so much issues that they can breed, into the home. And if the people that are living in such places don't think it's important to remove cobwebs, that brings in so many things too. Then we now come back to the individual. I just talked about the environment. We now look at the individual. The clothes we put on. For instance, like a mother who lives in the home, she will talk more about women. But for me, from observations, you discover that most women in some homes, I said some homes, the wrapper that they use to tie themselves, most times you see them wearing one wrapper for 2 weeks, 3 weeks unwashed. And they just feel it's not important to wash it. And this is common in these areas where you have fish near fish kind of compound. In my monitoring 2 days back, I got to a compound where incidentally they don't have borehole in the compound. And so they go to the nearby building to fetch water. And this compound, for my counting, there are about 32 tenants, each facing the compound. They built it like a kind of a stadium kind of something. So each room faces the compound, and they have them one common entrance, one gate. So I went there to ask of the reason why the opposite empty land is filled up with waste. Because the landlord complained that the people living in the opposite building are the ones who are filling up the place. So I decided to go and find out where they dump their waste. But unfortunately, it is that empty land.
That empty land.
That is where they dump their waste.
They don't even pay for.
They are not interested. So I had to ask the people. It was when I was entering there. I looked at the front of the compound, each of the places where they live. It's so messed up and they're so relaxed. I saw a child sitting down and eating in the same ground. So somehow one of the child decided to run in and raise their curtain so that he can pick something. When I peeked through the inside, the carpet that is being used is already torn in pieces. Yet it is what they are used to. So the inside is oozing. Yet the woman is cooking in front of her flat. So I was imagining, how do these children, and they all look so malnourished. And I said to myself, this is not as a result of poverty. It is as a result of carelessness and laziness, and not being able to know that it is important to keep your room neat. Because if those children are sleeping in a good ground, let me use maybe they are putting termite on the ground, and there is no dust, there is no sand, because what I saw, there are sands inside the tank there. So, and I looked at the woman, what she was putting on, black clothes and one dirty wrapper she was putting on. So I was asking myself, is this not disease on its own? So this is beyond government coming to ask you to remove waste. Already you are a waste on your own. So I looked at the woman and I don't know what to tell her. I just tried to advise her, say, madam, please, you should register and try your best to this compound, like your front where you're cooking is dirty. Look at your pot and look at the water you are using to cook. Flies that are just touching on there. So that gives you an average, understanding of how people take care. But when you see them coming out to the road, the kind of clothes they put on, yet inside, the one that is warm, it's so dirty. It's like when you talk about some of our young men today who sag their clothes. You imagine the kind of boxers that they display for you to see. Now, the one outside looks neat, but the one inside is so dirty. And you can imagine how many days it's been washed. So, at the end of the day, you see, if some of them open up their body, you see some crawls, some kind of things, what we call crawl, all over their system, all over their body, because they don't even think of taking care of even baking. Now, some people will tell you there's no water. Now, so many places, because of probably one or two things, they don't have access to pipe-borne water, as we used to call it borehole right now. Like this compound.